Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Fly Guy Ron. Well, today's video will cover how to properly tie the three most common fly fishing knots: the clinch, the improved clinch, and the surgeons. And the key to properly tied knots is plenty of practice off the water. Once perfected, you'll spend less time tying and more time fishing. It really comes down to practice, practice, practice. And in no time, you'll be an expert. You've got this, so let's get started. Okay, let's get started. We're going to go ahead and tie a clinch knot. So first off, this area right here, imagine that's the fly is right here in my hand. You want to put your fly in your dominant hand and then feed the line through the eyelet. And then once you do that, remember this side over here is heading towards the rod. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of line like this, fold it over, put it in the eyelet, and then pinch forward of the eyelet. And you're going to create a loop in there, and you'll see shortly. Then you're going to wrap around here 4 or 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to hold it and put it in the hole or the loop that we created, but don't put this guy through the eyelet. Remember, the loop is beyond or forward of the eyelet. And then before you cinch the knot, you're going to go ahead and put saliva on the line to reduce the heat, which would then weaken the knot. So go ahead and put it to your mouth, put some saliva on it, and then take the fly and pull it away or to the right like this and cinch it. And that's how you do it. Now what you want to make sure, but before you fish that fly, is you're going to go ahead and trim off the residual tag area. And there you have it. Okay, now we're going to tie a clinch knot using actual line and an actual fly, Yellow Sally. So I've already threaded the line through the eyelet of the fly. So we're going to go ahead and create that loop beyond the eyelet. And so we're pinching, and now we're going to wrap, let's say, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to take the rest of that piece of line and we're going to put it through the hole or the loop that we created initially. We're going to put it right through it like so. And then we're going to hold it, tie it down just a bit, and then we're going to wet it to reduce the friction. And all we're going to do is pull it tight, cinch it down. And look how nice that, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see all the rings of all the wraps in this one. And then all you do to finish it off is get rid of the extra line. And there you go. Simple clinch knot. Let's move on to the improved clinch knot, and I'll use this orange yarn to demonstrate. Now, I've already tied a clinch knot without cinching it down. So the difference in a improved clinch knot is that I'm going to take the tag end that I already put through our pinched loop, and I'm doubling back to this loop, this hole that's been created. And then it goes through there, and then I wet it, and then we pull it tight by pulling the fly to the right. So let's demonstrate it with actual real line. So we're going to use our Yellow Sally fly, thread it through the eyelet. And we're going to have enough line there. And we're going to pinch beyond the eyelet, and we're going to create our clinch knot initially. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You can use 5 or 6. It's all up to you. With the wider diameter line, I would use fewer wraps. It just gets cumbersome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go through that pinched loop first. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then I'm doubling back with the tag end, and you can see I've got the tag end through that extra loop. Now what you're going to do is go ahead and tie it down just a tad so that it doesn't escape. Then you're going to wet it with some saliva. You can use chapstick as well, but I think that's an extra step you could avoid. And then what you're going to do is pull that fly to the right and cinch it all the way down. And it's a beautiful thing to see when you see all the wraps even, and there's the ridges show it, and it is very well tied, if I may say so myself. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take off the excess. And there you go. Improved clinch knot. Now this is the knot that I use all the time. I've never had a problem. But again, folks, what you need to make sure is practice, practice, practice. Okay, let's learn how to tie a surgeon's knot. Well, a surgeon's knot is used to attach 2 pieces of line, and attaching tippet to elongate someone's leader. So what you're going to do is make sure that you have the fly line going to the, not the fly line, but the going to the rod is this one. And this one is actually going to attach to the fly. So what you do is you make sure that you have a nice loop that's formed, and you're going to pinch it. And then you're going to send both of these pieces through either 2 or 3 times. Triple surgeon knot is stronger than the double, but it's also bigger, which could tip the fish off. So it's really dependent upon the situation. So I'm going to do it separately at this point. So I'm going to go through 2 times. 1, 2, with one of the, and then I'm going to go through twice with the other one. 1, and then go through here. Come on. Okay, there you go. Sometimes it's easier to just fold it over and then pull it through. Okay, now that we're all through, now we've got 4 tags, if you can see that. Okay. You've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what you're going to do is, before you cinch any knot, what do? You put saliva on it or chapstick. So let's do that. Simulate that. And then what you're going to do is pull in both directions all 4 tags until they're cinched nice and tight. Okay, now you've got both pieces attached. And that's the objective. So what you end up doing after that is you trim off the excess with your nippers. So here's the first one. Oh, come on. That's 1. And 2. And that's how it should be done. Easy peasy. Okay, let's go ahead and tie a double surgeon's knot utilizing 2 pieces of actual line. So over here is going to be the tippet that you're attaching to the leader, which is over here. Okay, so we've got 2 pieces together, and we're going to form a loop by crossing it over. And now all we have to do is we have to feed these 2 pieces, which will be the leader and the tippet. And then we're going to come around back, and we're going to put it through that's one piece. Now we're going to go put another piece through. There we go. So that's one. We need one more loop through it with both of them. Okay. And let's put the short one through. Okay, there we go. We pull it through, and then we take the larger one. And you can either loop it or just send it through. There we go. Okay, now that they're all through, we should have two tags on either end separated by a loop. Okay, as you can see here, we've achieved that. Hopefully you can see that. I'll have some graphics throughout the video to make sure that everything's done properly. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and what do? We put saliva on it, reduce the heat when we cinch it. Okay, so now we pull it slowly until it seats. And then you go ahead and take your nippers and cut off the excess. So, but make sure you don't, it's the shorter ones. It's the short, like these. These are the ones that are excess. That's one. Let's look for the other short one. There you go. Boom, boom, boom.